Good morning, Leaky. How's everybody doing? Welcome to MuggleCast Live. MuggleCast is your weekly ride into the Wizarding world, covering all topics of Harry Potter. How's everyone's con been? We've had, I'm Eric Skull, this is Micah Tannenbaum.
Yes, I'm Micah. Nice to meet you, Eric.
Our third host, Andrew, isn't with us today, but we have a dear friend of ours joining us on our show, a dear friend of many years, joining us for the first time on MuggleCast. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Chris Rankin.
Hello. I've got a very deep voice today. I may have done quite a lot of singing and shouting last night.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
It's nice to be here.
We've got a good show today. We've got an interesting sort of topic that came to mind while we were thinking about just travel. And, you know, you travel a lot. You've been to a lot of conventions recently.
Recently.
And always. And always.
Yes, since the beginning of time.
Yeah. I mean, you're a convention regular. And,
yeah.
And you're so good at them, too.
I like them. I think that helps.
Yeah.
I like them. I would be out there if I wasn't up here. So I think that's why I just say yes.
You're a great game show host, too. Although I'm not sure about the outcome yesterday. What were your thoughts on that?
I mean, it was a tie. I think
it was a tie.
Yeah, it was a true Dumbledore tie. Okay. Yeah. It doesn't really matter who wins anymore. Just have some more points. It's fine.
So the topic that we wanted to discuss today mostly is travel, is Harry Potter, is specifically traveling for Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get just by show of applause, how many people have you come to LeakyCon from somewhere other than Boston?
Oh.
That's quite a lot of people.
Yeah, that's at least over half.
And for how many of you is this not their first Harry Potter convention? Okay.
Yeah, definitely more than half.
How many are not from America?
Wow.
Perfect. Oh. Okay. How about, let's see, destinations. The Wizarding World theme park. How many people have been to Florida for the Wizarding World theme park?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. How about to London for Harry Potter? Okay.
Scotland? For Harry Potter?
Yeah. The studio tour? This is great. Harry Potter opened so many doors for me, too.
Yeah.
And it was because of Harry Potter that I first traveled to London for the first time, which was on Harry Potter fan trips. And that was sort of a story of how we kind of met.
That is exactly the story of how we met. Although it wasn't in London. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't in London.
No.
But we were supposed to.
We were supposed to. So what was that, 2004?
2004.
Yeah. That's how long we go back. It's terrifying, isn't it?
That's before the podcast.
Is it? Oh, my God.
Oh, it is.
Well, I mean, you were like 7 at the time, right? So
16, but yes.
Yeah, it's essentially the same thing. There was the Harry Potter fan trips was a thing, Beyond Boundaries Travel, wasn't it? Yeah. Who organised them, and they'd asked me to be involved, and it didn't quite work out. I was supposed to be attending their event in London, and didn't quite work out. Warner Brothers got a bit worried about it, put it bluntly. And then I ended up coming to the States and doing a reverse Harry Potter fan trip, in that I went and visited all the Harry Potter fans instead of them coming to visit me, which was delightful. But yeah, then we kind of half met. Well, we didn't really meet. We half met in Chicago then. Yeah,
absolutely. So it was a wonderful trip too. I mean, as you said, Beyond Boundaries Travel organized at that point a 6-day event. Between London and York, England. And then we also took the Hogwarts Express train, which was in public service, to Scarborough for a day. And that was just a wonderful experience. And really, one of my favorite things of being a part of the Harry Potter fandom is how many people really want to make a travel special, and how these tourism, obviously a big industry, big money maker, but it's always been handled with like a lot of care, I feel. And the same with all of these cons. It's just been a really warm experience.
Yeah, I think it's because I think the people who organize conventions like Leaky and other Harry Potter conventions, because they are everywhere, you have to love Harry Potter in order to kind of give the time that it takes to put something like this together. In the same way that if you're organising Harry Potter fan trips, you need to know what you're talking about. You need to know it and love it. Otherwise, what's the point, I guess? So it is always done with care, I think. It's great.
And you've been to, now, that first trip on Harry Potter fan trips, we went to one or two of the filming locations or inspirations. We went to Oxford or Christchurch College. You've been to some of the filming locations, I think.
Some, not many, actually. Yeah. Not many.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Most of them. I did Goathland Station, which was the original Hogsmeade station, on which you'd have gone through if you went on the train to Scarborough.
Okay.
Out on the North Yorkshire moors. So that was my first filming location. The only other two places I filmed on location were Gloucester Cathedral, where we filmed all the corridor stuff, and then King's Cross.
No kidding.
And that was it for me.
Huh.
Yeah. Because everything else was studio. Because obviously you don't see Percy in any of the classes or anything like that, so I never got to go to LeakyCon. I didn't go to... I went to Alnwick. I didn't film in Alnwick. They just took me there. Just sat in a hotel for a week. Not really sure why, but yeah. So you never see Percy really outside of the Great Hall, which is a set, the Gryffindor Common Room, which is a set, or the corridors, which is Gloucester Cathedral, and the Burrow, which is also a set. So, yeah.
Yeah, what was he up to? He was just in his dormitory?
In the dungeons.
Oh, dungeons?
Yeah, lurking in the dungeons.
That's right. When Crabbe and Goyle are down there, they're heading to their common room.
Nobody knows why.
He's just there.
I know why. And I'm not telling you.
Well, I love to. I'm looking, and there's all this confetti on the stage from last night's ball.
Oh, yeah. That's
cakes and confetti.
That was also in my bed when I got up this morning.
Where were you keeping that?
In my hair.
Oh.
Yeah. There's
curls.
probably... actually, I'm surprised it didn't all just come out of my hat like Sasha Velour doing so much. Anyway, obscure reference that's not Harry Potter for anyone. Yeah.
So you're sort of familiar, though, with filming productions that take place in your country.
Yes.
And have you ever just happened upon a Harry Potter filming location, or you've seen them since, of course?
I've worked at other places that Harry Potter filmed, because after Potter I went into working in TV and film production, so I'm working on the other side of it. And I mean, there are places like Alnwick Castle, for instance. We shot a lot of Downton Abbey, which I worked on the final season of. Yay! You guys love Downton Abbey. It's wonderful. So Downton, not Downton, what am I talking about? Alnwick Castle is one of the sort of stately homes used for that. So I've sent crew there. I've used Laycock Abbey for other things. Don't think I've used Gloucester Cathedral for anything. But there's places and Borough Market and places like that they're just filming locations that are used all the time because they are beautiful. And rightly so. And of course, if you need somewhere that looks pretty in the UK, there's only so many places that are still completely sort of untouched by modern things, if you see what I mean. Like, there's an area of York called the Shambles, which is actually what that place behind us on the poster is. It is exactly like Diagon Alley. That's exactly how it looks. But yeah, there's not many places left like that where you don't have, telegraph lines or, double yellow no parking zones or whatever. So there's only so many of them you can use. So you do use them a lot. Yeah.
It's just, for me, it just transports me to a more magical place when I find myself in these places, and it evokes the feeling of reading the books. But when it doesn't. There's not necessarily like a connection or a reason for that, because I'm reading the books. I'm doing it at home or in bed or on the couch. But it takes me away, and being in a place that was inspired. And I also came into Harry Potter through the films first.
Okay.
And I think that had a lot of influence on my wizarding world.
Yeah. So yours is kind of almost more visual than...
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And if Warner Brothers had not picked up the films or produced the films, they would be possibly foreign films to U.S. audiences.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a crazy thing to think about. I mean, they're not set in America at all. It's all Britain.
Well, they were. Now, obviously, now we're Some of it's New York and
no. Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of an interesting thought I had where it's just like, this is, a foreign country and we're learning about the wizarding world, and it was the same thing to an American teenager. It was the same difference of being somewhere else.
Yeah.
And transported.
Yeah. I mean, it's a magical world, but it's also just a completely foreign world because it is foreign, I guess. Like, you don't see stuff like that in the US,
Yeah.
No.
True.
Micah, you just went and you went to a filming location recently.
I took a trip to Ireland earlier this year, and I got a chance to go to the Cliffs of Moher.
Oh, the Cliffs of Moher, yeah.
It didn't rain. It was very nice. I didn't see Dumbledore.
You're lucky.
Harry, though.
It
I looked
always
out on
rains.
that island,
Yeah.
but I didn't see them.
Usually it rains.
No Dumbledore, no Harry.
Cliffs of Moher, where the cave scene.
Oh, yeah.
The outdoor
Yeah.
exterior cave scene.
I've sent a crew there as well, actually, and it was bleak. It was really bleak.
Did they come back?
Yes, they did, and annoyingly, it was for a show I worked on called Atlantis, which was sort of like the replacement for Merlin. It was the same guys who did that for the BBC. We shot one scene there, and it was literally like 10 seconds at the end of season 2. It was the pun intended cliffhanger for season 3, and they axed. We never made season 3, so it was a complete waste of time. It's like Jason about to set off in his odyssey across wherever he was off to. So there's this striking image of him stood on the cliff at the end, and it's like, why are you there? It doesn't matter. You're not going anywhere, mate. It's fine.
Yeah. But we were actually talking earlier, and I'm kind of afraid to say this. I've actually never been to London.
I know. It's concerning.
So
we're taking Micah's MuggleCaster card away from him until he visits MuggleCast. No, I mean, up until he visits London. But but it's really opened to, it's really, Harry Potter in no small way has opened doors for me and given me an appreciation for other cultures. And definitely, I think that is something that resonates with me. People who travel because of it. I never necessarily would have known that Edinburgh is somewhere that I need to visit before I die, but absolutely now it's number one on the bucket list.
And it is beautiful as well. Yeah. And I mean, obviously, not an awful lot of Edinburgh has anything really to do with Harry Potter exactly. Like, none of it's set in Edinburgh, but so much of it is sort of ingrained in the Harry Potter culture and the background. Obviously, like the sort of the Elephant Cafe, and there's the graves with like McGonagall. Like there's I can't remember what the name of the graveyard is. That's got there's McGonagall's grave, which is where she got the name for McGonagall from, and there's Tom Riddle, I think, is in that cemetery as well. Yeah. So you can see where it comes from.
And that was the greatest thing too about Harry Potter fan trips. They hired professional storytellers. So anytime we were on a bus for several hours going somewhere, we had the folklore and the history of it all. And I know New England is famous for being one of the, having some of the oldest buildings and sort of culture in America, but that is immediately squashed by anything England can offer.
We went to Salem earlier this week, Nessie and I. We went to we did all of it. But we were in the witch house. And it's full of people, guides there, working there, telling people, this house is from 1627, and Americans going, oh my God, that's so old. And Ness going, yeah, my house is 150 years older than that. The house I grew up in is from like 1470. And everyone's like, oh my God. It's like, yeah, 1600's nothing.
How many people in the audience show of applause, have been to Salem? Or managed to go with Leaky? That's good stuff. That's I'm going tomorrow and looking very forward to it.
Have you been? You've been before, right?
I haven't.
Have you not?
This is my first time in Boston.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Yeah. I've been to New York a bunch for Harry, obviously in Orlando.
Yeah.
So how many, because do you have a number of are you counting how many conventions you've been to?
How many I've been to?
Yes.
Specifically Harry Potter ones?
Well, where your appearance has been because of Harry Potter.
Oh, God. Well, no, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Comic-Cons, general Comic-Cons and Harry Potter. Last year I did, I think, 27. So, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I don't know how many I've done. It's a lot.
That beats my number, but I think mine's like 15, 16 throughout the years for Harry.
Yeah, that's last year alone.
Yeah. Amazing.
So, I mean, it would be hundreds.
We've met through that other actors that you wouldn't have interacted with during the Potter films, but that you both...
Yeah.
Mr. James Payton.
James Payton.
Yeah.
Lovely James Payton.
Definitely. and others. So do you have
Stan Yanevsky never worked with Stan.
Yeah, and Stan
Ever.
is great.
Stan's great.
Today.
He's one of my favorite people.
Absolutely
and we
great.
do a lot of work together, but we never met until after the filming. Like, we never worked together because he was in Goblet of Fire. I wasn't. Yeah.
Ooh, all right. So I was going to tell sappy con stories, but do you have a highlight? Something that always stands out as far as a Harry Potter convention experience?
I think the thing I love about Harry Potter conventions specifically is that we're all, like, if you go to a normal Comic-Con, like a sort of a San Diego, probably not a good example, but like just like a normal fan expo kind of thing where there's people from every possible fan genre under the sun. It's a very different experience to coming to something that is so specifically about one thing, because we are all here because we are into one thing. So like it feels like there's less of a kind of us and them mentality. Like, if you go to a fan expo, all the actors are sat behind desks with pictures of headshots and that's it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Here, like, I could easily, and I've come to panels and watched panels and listened to panels because I'm generally interested in them as much as I am sort of an expert on the other end of it. So I love that it's sort of, we're all level, we're all equal, but in different ways. Like, there's people here who know way more about Harry Potter than I do, but then equally I know way more about different bits of Harry Potter than they do. So there's an information exchange that I really enjoy.
I gotta say, everyone's really impressed by how much about Harry Potter you do know.
Yeah, well, that's the Ravenclaw in me. Like, yeah.
Everybody's like, you can tell he's really thought about this, especially when talking about Percy.
I've talked about Percy for 20 solid years, nearly. No, 19 years. Terrifying. Yeah, 19 years. And I've been, I read the books when they first came out, so I've been a Harry Potter fan since it started. I was a Harry Potter fan, then I was lucky to get to do it as a job for 11 years, and now it's still my job in a different way, but it's a full-time thing, basically.
Yeah. I think it's pretty much the same for me and Micah. I mean, we've both at times contributed to MuggleNet.com. Doing the podcast for the last 15 years, have gotten we live and breathe it.
Yeah.
And it's such a wonderful thing to live and breathe.
And what a wonderful way to work, by doing something that you love.
Yeah.
It's not often you get to do a job that you enjoy,
I'll never forget, there was a preview for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Florida in 2010, I want to say, right before it opened, maybe 6 or 8 months before it opened. Melissa and I went down because it was a fan site preview of the Wizarding World, and they were still at that point it was just Hogsmeade in the Islands of Adventure part of the theme park. And they were still working on the scenic. They were painting like the storefronts and stuff. So they took us in. They were going to show us. It was mostly a food preview because the restaurant and everything, I guess, had to be finished first and make sure that that's all good. So they took us into the Three Broomsticks, which was fine. But to get there, we had to go through Hogsmeade, and they gave us hard hats to wear. Hard hats, and there was all this construction dust everywhere, and it was nuts, and there were like paint buckets, and people were painting snow. It was like 80 degrees, and people were painting snow on the edifices. And I'll just never forget how big, like the magnitude really struck me of how many people are creating this illusion, and how many people are that are creating this experience.
It's insane. Like, it is insane.
Yeah.
It's insane, and people, I've got, George, my friend George, your friend George, George, don't you, who works at the parks? George, suddenly lost his surname there. George.
Just George.
George. Lovely George. Who is an art director at the park, and he didn't design Hogsmeade, but is sort of like, if you see all the set decoration in all the rides and all the shops, that's George's department. So that I've been lucky to go to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter a few times with George, and he takes you around and shows you all the things, and he's like, this is this and this, and the amount of detail that goes into it is just insane. I mean, it is like a film set. There is no other. It's not a theme park. It's not plastic. It's all real stuff. And they sent props guys out to Europe to source things from antique shops for the storefronts. You assume it's all just kind of made in a sort of prop store around the back out of plastic and, 3D printing or whatever. It's all genuine and real, and so much care and attention goes into it. It's great.
So this is your first time on MuggleCast.
Really? Really?
I think so. Micah said so.
I think so.
Really?
I mean, he's known you for 15 years, and this is the first time that...
I'm sure. I feel like I must have been on it a million years ago.
I feel that way too.
But, I mean, I can't remember. I'm an old man now.
No. So we have some games that we play with our guests from time to time. We know that your reflex, your improv reflex is really good from yesterday's games. So a fun segment that we've got, we call it Make the Connection. And what it is we pick, you have to make a connection between Harry Potter and a completely random topic of our listeners' choosing.
Oh, okay.
Is this something you'd be interested in playing?
This sounds like something that is absolutely up my street.
So here's an example, and we're going to use you for this example. You get to make the connection between Harry Potter and opening the lid of a rubbish bin and having a squirrel jump out. Do they have squirrels in England?
Yes.
Okay. Because I couldn't remember if it was a chipmunk is a native thing or
no squirrels.
Yeah, squirrels.
We
okay.
have squirrels.
Right.
Yeah. Hang on. What kind of connection? Like,
okay, so any kind of connection. Like, you can do real surface level, like, oh, that's a surprise. And in Harry Potter, I was surprised when blank. Or you can say, you can get really into, like, squirrel psychology. Be like, well, the squirrel is just foraging for food, which reminds me of growing up poor and needing food. You know, that kind of a thing. You know, anything like that.
Lord. Hang on.
He needs this for punishment.
I need more of that. Okay, so what? Squirrel jumping out of a trash can and surprising somebody?
Yes.
And Harry Potter. Okay, so a squirrel jumping out of a trash can and startling somebody, it kind of, for some reason, is reminding me of nifflers, weirdly. Because you never know where they're going to be. Not generally in trash cans, but, you know, they do get places that you wouldn't expect them. So that's my connection. Does that work? I don't really know.
You've done it.
That's the politest round of applause I've ever heard. Oh, bless him. He's trying.
We have another one. This one is for Micah. I'm not sure. Do we have a standing mic in the audience? I forget. Is it over there? I can't actually see. Is it not there?
It is
there. Okay, there's a standing mic. So we're going to actually have 3 people from the audience. You're welcome to come up and just visit the standing mic. We have prizes for people. And if you'd like to try your hand at making a connection of Harry Potter and something else. Anybody's interested? If not,
one taker.
All right.
2 takers.
Oh,
hey.
All right.
Good, how are you?
I'm tired.
Same.
I'm tired.
Same.
What's your name? Where are you from?
My name's Ezra. I actually live like 20 minutes from here.
Okay.
This is much better than...
Grew up in Florida, though.
Micah, where'd you get the shades?
I brought them, but, you know, the last 2 times we're up here, I can't, you know, now I can actually see.
So, Ezra, this is a challenging one, but you seem like you can handle it. Please, if you can, make the connection between Harry Potter and pine cones.
Harry Potter in the prefect's bathroom, the password was Pine Fresh.
Ooh.
Okay, sir, please come up to the stage and get a prize. We have a choice of these figurines. And he chose the Voldemort.
Interesting choice.
Interesting choice. You're being graded on your choices, by the way. Thank you very much. Next contestant, what's your name?
I'm Kiki Hufflepuff from LA.
Kiki from LA. Your Harry Potter connection is make the connection between Harry Potter and eating your breakfast for dinner.
Oh, gosh, that reminds me of when Derek blushed when Dumbledore passed the chipolatas at the Christmas feast. Sausages are good for dinner or breakfast.
They are?
Oh, I killed it, didn't I?
I think you did well. Please come up and choose one of our lovely figurines. We have Queenie, Goldstein, and Hermione. Thank you very much.
Good choice.
Hi, what's your name? Where are you from?
Alicia from Connecticut.
Alicia.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff. Alicia, please make the connection Oh, it's another food-related one. We asked our listeners, and it must be breakfast time where everyone is because they submitted. Make the connection between Harry Potter and burning your tongue on hot coffee.
I immediately think about Seamus. Maybe he catches his coffee on fire or something and burns his tongue, even though, I don't know. That's what I think of.
That would be very unfortunate. He can't have a nice breakfast without it being too hot for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Please come up and grab our...
My cat's name is Hermione.
Your cat's name is Hermione? Well, then this is perfect. Here's our Hermione figurine for you. Take it home. Thank you for participating.
Thank you.
We could have...
We have one more?
Is there somebody standing there?
Yeah.
There is.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hi. What's your name? Where are you from?
Is that Mario?
My name
is Mario.
Joey, and I'm in Slytherin House. I'm from Methuen, which is a 30-minute drive north of here. So... Me too. Yay.
I'm trying to find a good one for you, sir.
Okie dokie.
Okay. Here is... a Muggle device. Please make the connection between Harry Potter and a self-checkout machine that doesn't work.
And a self-checkout machine that doesn't work. Okay, I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe he was in a classroom, and I guess, I'm trying, self-checkout machine that doesn't work, okay. Okay, well, maybe the time, you know how when a self-checkout machine, you kick it, and you're like, damn.
Absolutely.
I remember the time in Prisoner of Azkaban, he got sent up to his room by Vernon, and then he kicks the cuck. He's like, damn. Remember that?
Yeah.
That scene?
Yeah. He injures himself. It's very painful.
Yeah.
Good connection.
Yeah.
We have... another assortment.
You see, a self-checkout machine that doesn't work, for me, makes me imagine that that's something that Arthur Weasley would absolutely be fascinated by. A talking machine.
Yeah.
Unexpected item in the bagging area. Marvelous, a bagging area. How exciting.
This is Harry. Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, that was.
I love your costume, Mario. That's great. That's great.
We do have another fun.
As he goes back to his seat, let's go.
He's still...
What's happening? I wasn't paying attention.
We're talking about Arthur and...
Yeah.
So, speaking of being in Massachusetts, though, there's a wizarding school here.
Ilvermorny.
In this
Yeah.
state.
Yeah.
Ilvermorny. Have you... I actually...
Have you been?
I was in a...
Yes, many times.
Yeah.
Many times.
Is that where Percy was?
They have
I think I
a
was-
school exchange program that nobody ever talked about. Yeah.
But Ilvermorny is actually a really interesting concept or thing because growing up as an American, reading the Harry Potter books...
Just have a very quick question that's just dawned on me. Why don't Ilvermorny take part in the Triwizard? Do we have a... Too far away. It's magic.
Well, yeah, you'd have to take a boat.
Some people turn up in a boat that comes out of the water. So, why? Do they not like them?
I think perhaps it wasn't invented yet by J.K. Rowling. No, but I mean that's obviously that's possibly a plot hole. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, growing up American, you were like, what was the American school? We always wondered this, and there was one reference that J.K. Rowling wrote. It was to the Salem Witches Academy. I was like, ooh, there's something in Salem. Might only be for women, but okay, cool. But actually, turns out that was a joke, and it was an in-joke. It was like a cultural in-joke. I have to look it up, but J.K. Rowling's like, no, that's not the American Wizarding School.
Oh, okay.
The Salem Witches Academy is some kind of in-joke about a society in Britain that she's having a huge laugh. She's having a huge laugh. So when you're like, okay, now we know even less about an American school. But she did place it in Massachusetts, and it is up on the western end of the state, Mount Greylock. How many people have been to Mount Greylock? Did you see anything up there? I don't know. It's kind of a cool concept. I mean, now J.K. Rowling, of course, released that information on Pottermore.
Yeah. Is it still there? Like, what happened to it?
Well, Pottermore's gone now.
I know it is. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So does Ilvermorny exist anymore, or is it just like...
Oh, yeah. If it was never published in a published book, does it really exist? Now that the website's gone. I'm sure it's all wizardingworld.com right now. But yeah, so ostensibly there's maybe a thorough backstory on wizardingworld.com now of Ilvermorny.
I've got the app. Shall I have
But it was, if you want to, we'll see if it's up there. But the origins kind of came from Hogwarts, and the founder, Isolde Sayre, came from Hogwarts and was educated there. But she was also escaping sort of a dangerous family member.
Yeah.
I believe her mother, which is a very interesting origin story. Have you taken the Ilvermorny?
No, I haven't.
Sorting? Okay, you haven't. You're not.
I'm
curious?
I'm a purist.
You have like a full.
No, I live in Britain, so I've no need to sort myself into Ilvermorny because I would never have gone to Ilvermorny.
Well, we sorted ourselves into Hogwarts.
Yeah, well, you didn't get a choice.
And then we did. Okay, fine. I respect your opinion. I think I was a Thunderbird, actually, in the end, for Ilvermorny. How many of you were Thunderbird? A show of applause. Wampus?
Oh.
Oh, wow. Puckwudgie? And Horned Serpent? And Horned Serpent, I believe, is the analog. It's analogous to Ravenclaw or Slytherin.
Oh, okay.
So you might be a Horned Serpent.
Yeah.
I'm just speculating about that.
I'd be all right with that.
Okay.
I'll do it I'll do the test at some point. Maybe on the train tonight. Maybe keep me occupied for the 4-hour train drive.
Oh, sure.
I remember the sorting was a lot cooler, though, than Hogwarts.
Cooler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do they get sorted? I know now. I've kind of.
Oh, it's great.
Haven't switched on to this bit of
the
it.
sorting thing is actually really, really interesting. There's not a hat.
Yeah.
So J.K. Rowling did repeat some things, and the excuse for that, or the reasoning for that, is that Isolde Sayre modeled Ilvermorny over Hogwarts.
Hogwarts, yeah.
So there are 4 houses.
Yeah.
But the 4 houses are actually named for magical beasts that are native to the American region. Yeah. And actually, there's a Gordian knot. There's a giant Gordian knot in the entrance of the castle.
Yeah.
Because it is a castle.
Yeah, well, it has to be.
Now. Yeah, they built it. And it's a castle. And you stand on from what I remember, you stand on the floor and sort of in front of the eyes of the school and the essence of the school. And the knot moves and you basically lights up and you're chosen that way.
Nope.
Okay,
no,
if somebody knows more, please come up to the mic and tell us exactly how that goes. Thank you. Oh, Katie Hiley from Alohomora podcast. I should have known. Mike's over there. How could I get this wrong? It's been a little while, and they took it away from me. They took the website away, so I don't know.
Right about the knot on the floor. Okay. But there are 4 statues at 4 different kind of things surrounding you.
Okay.
And the whole school is up on a balcony watching the entire thing going on. And the statues kind of look at you. And then they either move or their eyes light up. Something happens that the statue from that house has chosen you. But sometimes more than one will choose you. And then I think it's kind of like a hat stall situation where you get to choose yourself. But yeah, it's nothing to do with the knot, but good try.
All right. I'm just hoping for points for trying.
And Isolde Sayre did not go to Hogwarts.
She didn't go to Hogwarts.
No,
her grandmother kept her away.
Precisely.
Okay,
she based it off of what she had heard of Hogwarts, but she never actually went there.
Got it. So somebody's second-hand experience of Hogwarts created Ilvermorny. I feel kind of...
Yeah, why'd we bring up Ilvermorny again?
Because it's in Massachusetts. We're talking about local things. Anyway, it's time for our second fun segment.
Yeah. Let's duel.
Let's duel. So we have a segment that we call the Dueling Club. And it's very famous. We played it with people such as David Heyman, producer of the Harry Potter films.
Yep.
He got really competitive, too.
I do. Yeah, that does not surprise me.
Really, really competitive.
He kicked my ass, actually.
Yeah, that also doesn't surprise me.
So,
I'm sure he's definitely a Ravenclaw.
What we do is we pick 2 characters from the Harry Potter series. We can do Just Fantastic Beasts. We can do any kind of thing. And then we blurt them out at the same time and have to defend who would win in a duel. It's pretty simple.
Okay.
Maybe to understand. Do you guys want to battle for an example?
Sure. I'm not standing up, though. Oh, he's got the glasses on.
So what
Micah's bringing his
character
game
set should we
face.
choose? What? Oh, wow. This is great. Okay. Making eye contact, I can't tell. No. All right. Okay, guys. Do you have, let's pick a character from Harry Potter and Prisoner of Azkaban, specifically.
And we both say it at the same time, correct?
Yeah, you will.
All right.
I'm going to do a countdown. You got your character. I'm loving, this eye contact is like romantic up here. I'm like, really, like, is it? Okay. You got your character? Or is that too narrow? Should we just say all of Harry Potter?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's
okay.
fine.
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Molly Weasley.
Percy Weasley and...
He said Percy, I said Molly.
Ooh. Okay. This is more of an Order of the Phoenix confrontation, I think. But who would win in a duel and why? Who'd like to go first?
I think Molly would win. Molly would win. Percy's a coward. I've never said that before, and I don't really believe it, if I'm honest, but I'm not fighting for Percy this time. If we're in Prisoner of Azkaban, this is slightly complicated because she has yet to kill Bellatrix Lestrange in order to defend one of her children. But one thing we know about Molly Weasley is that she might seem lovely and cuddly and bouncy and mumsy, but God help you if you get on the wrong side of that woman. She will fight to kill. She's also ginger, and ginger people are quite fiery, I tend to find. Molly would win.
Micah, would you like to admit defeat now?
Yeah, pretty much.
No, that's not how this works. There are no pass-ups.
Well, I mean, we don't know what Percy's been up to for the most part. I mean, who knows the kinds of things that he's been learning and doing down in those dungeons, as you mentioned. Yeah, but it's his mom. I mean, he's not going to hurt his mom. So, yeah, that's why I admit defeat.
He did. Somebody said in the audience.
Oh, he did. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But not in book 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I
seem to be establishing a track record when playing against members of the Potter film series of admitting defeat well in advance.
Who thinks that Percy Weasley, Micah's candidate, would win in a duel? Well,
literally
nobody.
no one.
Okay,
Correct.
all right. We're going to give that round of the Dueling Club to Chris Rankin.
All right, thank you.
And now we're going to do it with 6 of our audience volunteers. We're going to do 3 rounds. If you head to the standing mic first. We'll take 2 people up on stage at a time, but just hand in the standing mic. 6 volunteers, please. Okay. And the first 2, if you'd like to come up on stage, we got some prizes for you. There's a very clear... Yeah, here we go.
That's a great little run, Eric.
It's
It's a great little jog.
Oh.
Hi.
Hello, friends.
Come forward.
Come on over. We have a mic here for you. What is your name?
Genevieve.
Genevieve. And what's your name?
Rebecca.
Genevieve and Rebecca. Everybody. And we're going to do the same thing with you. Pick a character from Harry Potter. This time, let's say the Deathly Hallows. So think about it. Do you have a moment? Do you need a moment? Character. Okay, and on the count of 3, say your character. 1, 2, 3.
Mad-Eye Moody.
Weasley.
What was yours?
Ginny Weasley.
Ginny Weasley and Mad-Eye Moody?
Yeah.
Ginny Weasley and Mad-Eye Moody. All right?
Ouch.
Don't show any signs of distress. You got this. The audience doesn't know that you've got nothing up. So, Genevieve, why would your character win at a duel?
Mad-Eye Moody would beat Ginny because Ginny is incredibly skilled at the Bat Bogey Hex, and she was in Dumbledore's army, but she is a 16-year-old witch with almost no practical experience. And the one where she did go out into the Ministry of Magic, Mad-Eye Moody was also there, and he did not break his ankle. Mad-Eye Moody is also a fully trained Auror who filled, quote-unquote, more than half the cells in Azkaban, and Voldemort was the one to kill him.
I'd just like to point out that Mad-Eye Moody is dead. And Ginny Weasley's not, so... But yeah, she is really skilled at the Bat Bogey Hex. She was so skilled that she impressed Professor Slughorn, who recruited her without knowing anything about her family. That's how impressive she was. And also, she's a badass. And yeah, I think she's actually a really, really skilled wizard. Even before Harry Potter trained her, she was really talented. And maybe she couldn't win in a duel against Mad-Eye Moody, but she didn't win in many duels against Death Eaters at the Battle of Hogwarts.
Okay, I feel like we've heard and deliberated a little bit, but we're going to get the audience by a round of applause again. Who thinks that Mad-Eye Moody would win the duel?
Yes.
Who thinks that Ginny Weasley would win the duel? I think Ginny Weasley might have actually won.
What?
Unbelievable.
Oh
so congratulations, and please pick one of these one of our prizes to the winner. Only, unfortunately.
Oh wow.
Very sorry.
Thank you so much.
This is pick a Newt.
Newt is the cutest.
Okay. And thank you for playing, everybody. Thank you for coming up on stage. Thank you very much. And we're going to have our next two contestants. Now I'm doing a walk kind of a thing. Hello, hello. Come up. Here you are.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello again. How are you? Good.
Well, friends, what are your names? Where are you from?
Bridget. I'm actually from this area, from the Salem area.
Okay.
I'm Alex. I'm from Tewksbury, Massachusetts. What up, Massel?
Bridget and Alex. If you could, please choose a character from Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Are you ready? You think? Good? Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Madame Maxime.
Ooh. Cedric Diggory and Madame Maxime. Okay, what is the argument for Madame Maxime?
First of all, she is head of Beauxbaton. She knows practically anything that has to do. I'm assuming she probably has trained many of the students that go to Beauxbaton, so she's highly skilled in anything when it comes to law and order and dueling and everything that has to do with it. Plus, truthfully, she's pretty hard to knock down. So it's very practical.
Okay. Alex, can you defend why Cedric Diggory would win?
Happily.
Oh wow. This is no sweat. This is no problem.
Despite the robes that I have on right now, I am a Hufflepuff, so that means that Cedric is, by default, from the best house. He made it into the Triwizard Tournament. The Goblet picked him to represent Hogwarts. Harry's a fluke. And while Madame Maxime is very talented, I think being part giant may limit her magic in the same way that it limits Hagrid's. Granted, he's not fully trained and his wand was broken for a period of time, but even a fully trained half giant might not be as magically adept as a fully trained wizard.
Okay. I think it's a close one. Chris, who do you think is?
It could go either way. I think the arguments are strong on both sides. Madame Maxine does have, height on her side, and could quite easily just sit on Cedric.
That really is going the direction of fan fiction.
Yeah.
She's very tall. She probably can't run all that fast. She's carrying a lot. But she has years and years of knowledge and wisdom and training under her hand as well.
But also when you... Sorry, no, I'm not getting... I'm not fighting again.
It's time to take it to the audience. Who thinks that Madame Maxime would win in a duel? Who thinks that the late, great Cedric Diggory would win in a duel?
I'll take that. That's fine.
What do we think?
That was pretty easy.
I think it was Madame Maxine.
I think it was too. Yeah. Okay. Congratulations to Madame Maxime.
Yeah.
Well done.
Bridget, please choose the prize.
Oh my goodness.
From right on the table. Thank you, Alex.
Let's do. Yeah, I'll go with little Ron over here.
Little Ron with little scabbers on his shoulder. Good stuff.
Aww.
Oh, Peter. Yes, let's never forget. And our last two contestants, please come on up.
Yep. Eric has 3 microphones, and Micah and I are now sharing one between us.
Welcome. Welcome.
Standard Eric. Yeah.
These awesome robes, cosplays. Hi, what's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Phoebe. I'm from New Jersey.
Phoebe.
I'm Donna. I'm from Idaho.
Donna from Idaho. Very nice, very nice. We have one prize remaining, which is this lovely young Dumbledore, Jude Law figurine. So in the spirit of our prize, could you choose a character from the Fantastic Beasts series? Just a moment. Do you have your characters?
Yes.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Tina
Nicholas
Goldstein.
Flamel.
So Tina Goldstein and Nicholas Flamel. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Okay. What is the argument for Tina Goldstein?
All right. So Tina is a very skilled witch, but she's also worked for MACUSA. She's a tough woman. She knows a lot of magic, and she's very fierce, like in a way that you get a little bit of a glimpse in Fantastic Beasts, but like she could take down everyone. So Nicholas Flamel's like an old guy who like relies on fake magic and stuff to survive. So she could kick his ass.
Magic. Okay. Let's hear the argument for Nicolas Flamel.
Thank you. So Nicholas, unfortunately, like a lot of the characters that we really love, was falsely portrayed in the movies.
Yes.
Has been around for 600 years, knows lots and lots of magic, ancient magic, is trusted by Dumbledore and actually partners with Dumbledore on many, many projects, has a vast amount of magic, plus has been able to teach. Not only does he perform, but he teaches and trains young wizards. I think his experience and probably just what he has in his potions box would take care of this duel.
Okay. Any thoughts, gentlemen?
Nope.
All right, we'll take
Well
it.
argued.
We'll take it to the audience then.
Yeah.
Who believes that Tina Goldstein would win in a duel? Not bad, not bad. And who thinks Nicholas Flamel would win? It looks like our winner is Nicholas Flamel.
I think so.
Congratulations, Donna. Here's your young Dumbledore figurine. Yay. And thank you for playing the Dueling Club on MuggleCast. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we've got about 10 minutes left in our panel here. Oh, let me get you some of these microphones back. Thank you.
Now.
Yeah. We got Chris. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah.
So what's the best way to narrow this down? We have actually a special prize here. There is one more prize for the audience. Where's the bag? Oh, here it is. You get lost up here. There's so much confetti, and it's reflecting, and it's blocking.
Sure.
We have a prize for, so we were talking about travel and traveling for Harry and sharing some of our stories. We actually have a Monster Book of Monsters prize here, which is very soft. And actually, does it? Oh, don't say, it's loose. Ah! Okay, anyway, we'd like to give it to the person in the audience who traveled the farthest to be here. And I think wow, this thing doesn't stop.
It likes the confetti. I mean, come on. It should actually.
There we go. There we go. So just by let's try and narrow this down by naming or going by distance. So
Okay.
Yeah, somebody outside of the continental United States. Do we have several people by show of applause? Okay, outside of North America? Across the Atlantic? Across the Pacific? Okay, so we're across the Atlantic.
So we're...
Sorry, from Australia? Hawaii. Okay, so Hawaii. Okay. How do we go? So from west to east of the Atlantic.
So we've gone across the Atlantic. Britain. Continental Europe. Oh, wow. Okay, so we're in continental Europe. Where have we got? France? No? Yes? Germany? Germany in the house? Hello over there. So we've got Germany over there. Where's further than Germany? Scandinavia?
East of Scandinavia?
I know there's somebody at LeakyCon from Scandinavia because I met them yesterday, but they're not here, so they don't count.
Okay.
So anyone further... which way are we going? East. Anyone further east than Germany? I think it's Germany then.
I think it's Germany.
Hang on, but there were several Germany.
Okay.
Where are the Germanys? Just one of you? Fantastic. Well, there you go then. I think.
Okay, there you go.
All right.
Okay, please come to the stage.
Wunderbar.
Thank you for traveling all the way here. Sorry, was there a challenge?
Uh-oh. Where in Germany?
Well, don't you... Eric,
Germany's big.
We'll figure this out. Come up on stage.
There's something else.
Well, come on.
In the
Would the Hawaii like to come up? We're going to challenge this. This is great. Good challenge. Okay. We are... Oh. Okay, so what was the argument for Hawaii?
Hawaii is how far? 5,000 miles, did somebody say? 5,000 miles, and Germany allegedly 3,000 miles.
Have the other thing in here?
Yeah.
36, did somebody say?
Right. And
Where in Germany? Frankfurt. Okay. I'll get specific. And your zip code? No.
We're in Hawaii.
Frankfurt. Directions?
Are you going by car?
Walking? I don't know. Yeah, that's not working for me. I've done this entirely wrong.
Yeah, Google Maps.
It's a long way.
It's a long way. How are we finding this out? Oh, are we dueling? Are we dueling for the... Would you guys like to participate in a
fight to the
Dueling Club? I know you didn't ask for this. You just traveled so far. We're putting you up on stage. I'll tell you what we'll do. We also have one last special prize in the event that this occurred, which is a Cornish pixie.
Aww.
And my inclination would be to give, since Hawaii is the furthest, the Monster Book of Monsters, and Germany, the Cornish pastry. Does that work? Okay?
Yeah.
Everybody's happy.
Good job.
Everybody's happy. Congratulations. Thank you for traveling so far. Be careful, the book bites. Thank you very much. All right, that was solved. We've got about... Geography. Yay, another not one of my strong suits. We've got about 5 minutes left. I don't know if we wanted to take questions or just kind of ruminate on sort of where we've been in the Harry Potter journey that we've had so far.
Question?
Questions. There we go. All right. The standing mic is here at the front. We have time for maybe 3 questions. If anybody's got a question.
No geography questions. Please.
Yeah.
Yeah, no geography. And don't ask me about how they serve people at Ilvermorny. I've already forgotten.
Hi, I'm Kara. I'm a Hufflepuff.
Hey, Kara.
I wanted to ask you, how did you get onto and about your experience on Wipeout?
On Wipeout. Wow. Okay, so a long time ago, about 2011, we have Wipeout. There's the TV show where you jump off big things into water, basically, if you haven't seen it. It's dangerous. So we used to have it in the UK, and it was called Total Wipeout in the UK. And I don't know, is it still on over here?
It's reruns.
Okay, it's reruns. So they stopped making it because you couldn't film it in the UK because of health and safety regulations. It's that dangerous. We had to be flown to Argentina to film it, which was ideal. So they asked me to do it. I did the celebrity, in very loose terms, version of it. And I came fourth by some miracle.
Wow.
Because I do not do exercise in any way, shape, or form. And somehow came fourth. But it was the most silly week I've ever had in my life. And you don't, honestly, people think that especially when you do celebrity versions of things, they kind of make it easier. And they do sometimes, but they really didn't with that. You don't get a dry run at it. You don't get a practice. You just go and see what happens. But when I did it, there was we shot 2 episodes at once, and from my episode, one guy broke all the bones in his foot. Somebody perforated an eardrum and snapped their collarbone. It's dangerous. It's not just jumping off wobbly foam things. It's dangerous.
Do you film it all in one day?
2 days. Yeah, and I'm so glad I didn't have to do the final round. So glad. Fourth is good. Fourth is I'm a happy fourth.
Thank you.
We have time for 2 more questions.
Should be third or nothing, but it was definitely fourth is fine by me.
Hello, my name is Ellie. I'm a Hufflepuff. I'm from Niagara Falls, Canada.
Woo!
On the earlier topic of travel, clearly you've been taken or gotten the opportunity to go to a lot of different places. You probably never had a thought, or it was never on your sort of bucket list of places to see. What was the most surprising place that you've gotten to see from going to fan conventions or just the Harry Potter films in general?
Ooh. I mean, I've been really lucky that I've got to go to all sorts of exciting places and very random places as well. I'm doing an event in about 3 weeks' time in a place called Ironton in Ohio, which is apparently the tiniest town in the world. So it's exciting because you get to go to places like that. You get to come to places like we've met across the states, basically, between Vegas and Orlando and Boston now and...
Portland? Were you in Portland?
No, not Portland, but all over, everywhere. And it's exciting, and you do get to go to exciting places that not necessarily you choose to go to. Obviously, there's places like Orlando that you would always want to go, in Vegas and New York and Boston and places like that. But then you get Cincinnati I've been to because of Harry Potter, and places in Romania I've been to because of Harry Potter for conventions and fan things. And where else have I been? Czech Republic, Hungary, random parts of Spain that I didn't know were there. Most of France, and it's great fun.
Awesome.
And we all speak the same wonderful Harry Potter language, which is ideal, because we don't speak the same literal language. But, yeah.
Hi again.
Hey.
So if there was a lot of scenes from the book that did not make it into the movie.
True.
If there was one scene that you had to pick that you did not get to shoot from the books, which one would you pick?
It would be the bit where Percy comes back through the portrait in Deathly Hallows. We filmed kind of versions of it. That there's a bit, I think, in some of the outtakes you can see Percy kind of sneaking back into the Order of the Phoenix. But they just don't work timing-wise. It doesn't make much sense. Everyone's like, who's that? Unless you really know your Harry Potter, you're like, what? Why is he there? I think it would have been nice to have that Percy coming back through the portrait into the room of requirement thing, but because of the way films work, it just doesn't make sense, and that's totally fine. It'd also been fun to do some more Percy stuff at the Burrow, I think. Some of the stuff with the twins really taunting Percy. And
that would have been hilarious.
Oh, yeah. I mean, essentially did it. They bullied me for years. But not really. Well, that was so much. All of Goblet of Fire. I mean, just all of it.
Cauldron Bottoms.
Exactly. The Cauldron Bottom report that is for sale at the Harry and the Potters merch store, by the way, is brilliant, and I recommend it to all of you. It has graphs and referencing and index and everything. It's the most... Percy would be so proud.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So audiences might not have or might have forgotten Percy if he came back in books. But we could never forget you, Chris.
Oh,
thank you so much for joining us.
Always a pleasure to see you.
MuggleCast. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We will be, Potter Puppet Pals is next, which is super amazing. We'll actually be in the back. We have MuggleCast bookmarks for everyone. If you're interested. Bookmarks, I don't know, do you guys read? Bookmarks will be in the back after this panel, but we got to clear the stage. So thank you so much. We'll be in the back with bookmarks. Thank you for coming to Live MuggleCast.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
See you later.